Hey folks, welcome to the show, episode 62, opening round preview. The footy is here, folks. The footy is here. But first and foremost, just a message of condolences. Today, the footy world lost Dennis Cometti, one of the legendary commentators throughout the 90s and the 2000s. Many memories of a great man who called the game as the best alongside Bruce McAvaney. The two were the pair of the AFL who called legendary games. Amazing moments like when Buddy was just kicking goals left, right and centre. And all sorts of finals and grand finals. He was a great man. He made the call centimetre perfect. Along with sneaking up on the like a librarian. In the grand final for the Collingwood and St Kilda match when Heath Shaw went up to Nick Riewoldt and smothered the ball right on the goal line and set the tone for the game, along with a great call from Dennis Cometti. So condolences to him, his family, and also Bruce McAvaney. West Perth and Western Australia as a whole, they lost a great football icon of that state, who I believe was still calling the games on the radio when there'd be the home state playing. That's Fremantle and West Coast over in Western Australia. So yeah, just a shout out to everyone there. And yeah, football lost a great man today. So just wanted to say that. So rest in peace, mate. And it's footy starts tomorrow. So it's a big opening round, which is one that some people aren't too happy with, which I can understand. There's not the 4 games this week. After last year's debacle, the cyclone and all that, we had games delayed. So they've turned it into a split round, essentially. I think we should just have a whole round of football. I know they're trying to jazz it up in Queensland, New South Wales, or so have you. Just play all the games. It's been 6 months with no football. People want to see their teams. Where they have split it up now into 2 rounds. It's not good enough, folks. That's just a little quick thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But I just think, yeah, just get all the games going. Start it off with a bang, folks. It is opening round. We don't need to have opening round. Just go straight to round 1, folks. But I get people excited either way, and it doesn't matter. But it's football. We want all the games, folks. So we're going to start with the opening game tomorrow night, Thursday, March 5th. It is Sydney Swans versus Carlton at the SCG. We got new faces. It's a new year. We got a new team for both sides. And the inclusions are for Sydney, Jai Sarong, ex-Hawthorn player. Defensively to start at Hawthorn, but now he's on the wing, folks. He's found a new home. Charlie Curnow at full forward, playing against his old team. It's the Charlie Curnow Cup, folks. We have Carlton versus the Sydney Swans, and now Curnow is a Swans superstar up forward. He kicked a couple of bags in the preseason, kicked 4 and a couple in the next game. So he's slotted in nicely. And also Malcolm Rosa Jr., who's started his first game for Sydney. And the new faces for Carlton, let's talk about that, folks. Oliver Florent in the blockbuster trade with Harry Dean, first round pick, father-son, defensive centre-half back down there. He gets to play his first game. He plays hard football, folks. Will Hayward playing his first game for Carlton after also being involved in trades from Sydney, ex-Sydney superstar. He didn't go home to South Australia, folks. He's found a new home at Carlton, and boy, did he play some good preseason football. Both Ollie and Florent and Hayward fitted in that side very well. Carlton went 2-0 in the preseason. We'll talk about that in a second. Ben Ainsworth kicked a few goals in one of the first game and performed quite well in the second. We mentioned he'd play that half-forward role. He sort of plays that nice, sort of tough inside half-forward role. Jagger Smith, after his ACL injuries, after last year, after his, I think, a pick 3 from what I remember from the draft previously. He's back, he's fit, he had 37 disposals, a goal or two, I think, from what I remember. last week and absolutely starred, best on ground outside of Sam Walsh. So he's backfiring too, just talking about him. Liam Reedy coming over from Fremantle, ruckman that's come over to the Blues. He is looking like he's going to perform to help hit Nat in the ruck and give him another target up forward. Campbell Chester, also the new face for Carlton. He is coming over from West Coast, coming back home. Was a high draft pick a couple of years ago. Didn't quite perform at West Coast. Can he snag that spot in the Blues lineup? Is he going to fit in the midfield? Is he going to play on the wing? Is he going to play up forward? It's all to be seen. He can play all those types of roles. That's the sort of player he is. And we're looking at the lineup. Kemp's back off his injury. Jagger Smith, Ashton Moyer in the forward line. That's the full forward line. That's the full forward. The two pockets. We got Harry McKay, Lockie Fogarty, and sorry, my lineup just played up. Lockie Fogarty and Ben Ainsworth to finish off that half forward line, as I mentioned. Will Hayward on the wing, folks. Patrick Cripps on the centre. Ollie Hollands on the other wing. He's a good runner. Had a good preseason. Adam Sard, Mitch McGovern, Harry Dean. That's the centre half back line. Lewis Young, Jacob Wadering, and Ollie Florent. So they played the three tall defensive players. That's in Lucas Young. It is Lucas Young. Lewis Young, sorry. I knew it was something like that. Wadering's back. And Mitch McGovern. So those three, they're going to play on, obviously, we'll talk about Sydney's forward line. We got Amadi, Kernow, Logan McDonald. So they're going to be your three tools. I'd assume Logan McDonald or Amadi will start at centre forward next to Tom Papley and Matty Rose, Malcolm Rosa Jr. folks. So that's, you're going to have Rosa on Sard, Papley on Dean, or Rowbottom, sorry. Either one of those. It's going to be quite a tall defensive lineup for Carlton. So Ollie Florent, he'll take, obviously, Papley or Rosa or Rowbottom. So one of those ones, they're going to have to stick on them. And that'll be the lineup down there. So as I mentioned, they've got three key tools. So Carlton are going to have to... That's the important part of the game, folks, I think. Defensively, I'd say Sydney have got a better defensive lineup than the forward line. But look, they've added Jagger Smith, Ainsworth, Moyer, and McKay into there with Fogarty. They're going to have players swap off the bench like Hollands, Reedy, Williams as well. Williams will probably go down the half back more than that, and also Cooper Lloyd will probably swap in the midfield a bit as well. But yeah, look, to be fair, I think the matchup will probably be fought between Sydney's forwards. If they can stop Sydney's forwards, Carlton get up. Simple as that. But to my form, I think Kernow playing against his old team, he's going to kick a few goals. There's no doubt about that. I'm going with Sydney for the win, I think. Just going to be two good folks. Our Blues of 2-0 on the preseason. They can easily come out and shock us with that speed and quickness. But also Sydney are 2-0, and they looked pretty good. So off to the next game. We got Gold Coast Suns versus Geelong at People's First Stadium. This is going to be 7:30 on the Friday night, the following game. Let's just go into the lineups, potential lineups. It's not been named yet. So we're going to run off what we know. So, look, I know there's going to be some players that are going to come back and they could be potentially injured. So like Patrick Dangerfield, hopefully maybe back. Geelong didn't look that good in the preseason. They lost both games. They lost to Hawthorn and Carlton. And Gold Coast lost a couple games too. So we don't have a lineup to work with. But I know there's a few players like Myers that he's struggling to get back from injury. He's struggling to get back from injury. I'm just trying to find. There's no stats here I can get here at all. Let me just be 1 second, because it did come up before, and now we don't have it. So we'll just try get it, folks. But yeah, look, Gold Coast are going to have it over Geelong in the ruck. Witts is going to he's going to get the first gives to his midfielders. We know Matt Rowe's not playing with a broken finger. Christian Petrarca is going to get first gives off the ball. Can he just muscle some of Geelong's midfielders? We've got Max Holmes. Bailey Smith's supposed to be coming back. They got a couple ins like that. We believe it's going to add some pace to the game. But it's going to be an interesting games, folks. Look, Neil, well, he can bounce up and be okay. I think he's okay after smacking his knee in the ruck last week. Defensively, look, for Geelong, they've always got a sound defence, but Ben King's coming back. Ben King's the main pinnacle of that lineup. There's no doubt about that. I feel like Ben King coming down into the forward line for Gold Coast will help them. They don't have that key tool. Walters is missing through suspension. Hagel may get a chance, but we don't have the lineups yet. We're just going to go off by a rough idea. Also, just having a quick look, folks, see if we can get a little bit more in. So yeah, we got a little bit of stuff here. No, I've only can get the whole Sydney game. That's all we got, folks. That's the thing. Also, normally, when footy's around, you get Thursday night, which is tomorrow night, and you get all the teams and everything. So you get the whole lowdown. We'll have a little bit more organised next time. But just the ins and outs for Geelong. There's a few players that missed, as I mentioned, that hopefully will come back into that lineup. The ruck's a struggling spot for them. They don't want Neil to be also rucking. Jeremy Cameron's against the clock whether he can come back into the lineup. So, look, Polkinghorn can make his debut as well, folks. There's a few. Werpel's going to play his first game as well for Geelong. Whether he can slot into that midfield and help Max Holmes, Bailey Smith, Manahan. All those players, obviously Manahan swap off the 4-lane. I think he's still coming back from injury too. Look, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting one. I just want to see also if we can just try get a few. I'm just trying to look to just double check all that. It's just hard because we're not going to get it at the moment. But yeah, obviously Tom Stewart, Stengel I think still injured as well. Flitzar's going to be about the mark. Humphrey's come back for his first game. So look, they got some stars there, folks. Connor Sutherland as well, ready for another season. For Gold Coast, look, it's going to be an interesting one for them as well. Just want to make sure I haven't missed out on anything, folks. For Gold Coast, obviously McAndrew needs to be good defensively. Brody gets to play his first. Brody Ewell gets to play his first game with his brother Zeke Ewell, who actually debut as well. I expect both the brothers will be enjoying that. Ewell will be one that'll probably rack up a few touches for fantasy, folks. So we've mentioned Ben King. To me, Ben King's the player of this game that's going to be interesting. There's a few outs for him. They don't have Matt Rowe, obviously. Can Bailey Humphries stand up and perform? Christian Petrarca, can he perform? Can Geelong shake off their pre-season form that has not been that good? Noble running off the half back with Rioli. Tuke Miller, and Noah Anderson. Look, I actually think that midfield is going to give Geelong a run. I don't think Geelong are going to be doing too well. So or Closey as well off the half back. Look, Lombard as well is going to be in that side. Couple inside midfielders, and off the half forward as well. Look, Collins will shut down Neil, I reckon, to be fair. Whether Jeremy Cameron plays or not, we'll see. Coming off a quad strain. To me, Jeremy Cameron also is the player that could... It's the two key forwards in this game for me. If Jeremy Cameron plays, Geelong have much more of a chance. If he doesn't play, I feel like Ben King, if he gets on top of this team early, kicks a lot of enough goals for him, he's going to be their firepower. We need Bailey Humphrey, who played pretty well in the first game, sort of struggled the next. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Gold Coast are going to take this game first off, and that's pretty good. We'll move on to the next game, folks. That covers most of the players that are coming back, players that aren't playing. We're going with GWS versus Hawthorn. This one's very much an interesting one. We obviously have a very injured lineup at GWS. We got Clayton Oliver playing his first game as well for GWS. Once again, no lineups, but we will talk. We'll talk about the teams. So yeah, the Gold Coast. Not Gold Coast. Hawthorn. Yeah, obviously the Giants have a lot of injuries. We'll talk. I mean, of some of the players that are first off very good through the preseason. I thought Clayton Oliver in GWS's first game was really good. Second game struggled a bit, but still got enough for the ball. He looked like a new player out there. For Hawthorn, the best new player over the preseason is Josh Ward. First game was amazing. Second one, is still in the best, but he wasn't as good. They looked slow last week, Hawthorn. Was that just blowing off the cobwebs? They're going to come out firing and beat GWS. They're playing GWS away at GWS's home ground. So they're going to have to play there. Toby Green, he's going to have to stand up. He's been playing midfield time. They're just, they got a lot of injuries. No Tom Green. No Tom Green. Aaron Cadman's not playing. He will miss. Toby Bedford, Alika Lear, Toby Mullen are expected to return to full training next week. Brent Daniels as well. So Finn Callahan, he's a test for this week, so he probably won't play. Toby Bedford, hamstring 1 week. Alika, we just mentioned those players. Sam Taylor, hamstring 4 to 6 weeks. And all the other players, essentially, like Josh Kelly, Tom Green, Darcy Byrne-Jones, pretty much out for the season. So, look, Hawthorn are coming in. I think the only player that they've got to add in is Tom Barras. Obviously, Will Day injured. They're going to need players to step up. Connor McDonald, is he going to play midfield? Is McKenzie? I think McKenzie misses due to concussion. Can't quite remember. We got an injury list right here. Let me just double check. And we can go by that. So, Tom Barras is a test. Blank's done a groin, so he's to be seen. Will Day's 3 months away. Concussion I was on the money, folks. Concussion from Cam McKenzie, and Cameron Naan for a back injury is 1 week away. So, McKenzie comes out of that lineup. Who's going to come in? They need a midfielder. Put a big midfielder in. Ollie Greaves, give the man his debut. Or, Husway, I think as well. They need that big midfielder. Are they going to go with 2 rucks? Are they going to put Reeves in alongside me? Are they going to play Shumba? Are they going to, Barras needs to prove his fitness, but he should be back. So Barras will be in. Miraz will leave for Barras. And that will be their key defensive lineup back. Is Sicily going to perform this week? Are we going to see the Wiz kick a bag of goals? Mitchell Lewis looks pretty fit. GWS are still missing, obviously, Sam Taylor, so they don't have their key defensive pillar there. They still have Jesse Hogan up forward, but I think Hawks' defensive lineup probably should be good enough to stop GWS. It's just in the midfield. Jai's playing. Jai Newcomb got off suspension, so look for him to probably be best on ground, I feel, if he gets first Gibbs off the ball. Briggs is going to have to go in the ruck with Madden. They're going to swap, so you could see 2 ruckmen play for Hawthorn. I think those lineups could be. I haven't got the lineup to work with, but we'll go with what we got. Moore's got to step up into that midfield. It's to me the game's going to be won with the Hawthorn midfielders if they can step up, stop Clayton Oliver, and Toby Green running through there. Yeah, it's going to be a hard one for GWS. They're going to play a few fresh faces as well. It's a matter of GWS's forward line, like Riccardi, and Jesse Hogan. Look, it's going to be interesting, and Stringer as well. So it's pretty action packed. Just thinking from a Hawthorn perspective. I think Hawthorn have got it. To me, I think Newcomb will play good. They'll have the Wiz run through there. They'll have Connor Nash as well. Connor Nash is going to have to really step up. I really need to see him have a good game. I feel like if he performs, Ward, Newcomb, Nash in that midfield, those 3 have a good game. Hawthorn wins. Straight up. No doubt about that. I've got confidence there on that. And also, if they kick enough goals, they need to kick the score, folks. That's the one that I feel. So I think that's pretty good for the Hawthorn and GWS game. So let me go over to the next game, which is Bulldogs versus Brisbane. Brisbane Lions versus the Bulldogs. Versus the Western Bulldogs, and that's on Saturday night, 7 o'clock, over at the Gabba. And Brisbane's injury list, let me just have a look. So Brisbane looked really good against Gold Coast the other night. Cody Curtin's chest is to be seen. Tom Duday, wrist, he's still 2 weeks. Draper's about 2 weeks. Kobe Evans, 4 weeks. Hipwood mid-season. Luke Lloyd, 3 to 4 weeks injured in the preseason game just gone. Cameron Rain is a test. The rest are sort of to be seen throughout the week, and Harry Smith 4 weeks. So, yeah, Ryan Lester, Oscar Allen are both back from concussion, so they'll be added in the lineup. Rayner trained Tuesday, and Noah Ainsworth played a VFL practice match. So, look, Rayner may be back. McCluggage, Neil, look, Dunkley playing against his old team. Rayner, when he runs through there, versus the Bont, Ed Richards. Look, we'll talk about Western Bulldogs injuries too, just quickly. We don't have lineups, folks, so we're just going by. So Bailey Dale's a test with his knee. He's a big loss if they don't have him off that half back. It just means Ed Richards may be swapping off that half back. Sam Darcy is soreness, but he's a test. Riley Garcia, Ryan Gardner, Adam Treloar is a test. Riley Sanders, concussion, so 1 to 2 weeks. So Zach Walker and Cody Waitman still not there. That leaves Lockie Jakes playing his first game, I believe, and Michael Selwood. So, and Lewis Emmett's about the mark who could play it, whether they just keep Tim English as a tool. So they're going to play a few new players, the Dogs. Sanders is out. So there's a few key outs there. They'll get Sam Darcy back. Look, Harish Andrews will come back into that lineup. He'll play straight on Sam Darcy. I just don't see the Western Bulldogs winning this game. I just don't. Great form throughout the preseason. Brisbane still good form too, but I just do not see them winning, folks. Bont's going to have 35 plus. He's going to be playing on players like Dunkley and that who are just going to play a defensive game on him. There's no doubt about that. Darcy's going to have to kick a bag. Look, Aaron Norton could kick a few. I still think the Bulldogs have a great forward line. I just think defensively they don't have the key tools to match up on some of Brisbane's forwards, like Logan as well. Like they're just gonna, there's Oscar Allen coming back into that lineup. Like there's players that are just gonna kick bags. There's Gallup. I just see their tools are really good. Like, yeah, there's a ruck spot that's a bit like, Darcy Fort will probably swap with like someone like Oscar Allen, or you could even put Gallup even as a second ruck if you really were desperate. They'll get someone to fill in. Look, the kid at the midfield, the ruck's the only spot I could see Bulldogs getting over him. The midfield for Brisbane are just too good. They played a hard game the other night. Will Mount off the half back. He's just going to run the ball and carry. Coleman is back as well. Like, they got these half backs. Lincoln McCarthy's playing. He can play up forward. Charlie Cameron. I just don't see the Dogs' defense stopping so many good forward line players. And I probably haven't even said all of Brisbane's players, but they're that good. Like, I don't know if I need to rattle off any more, folks, on that one. And to round out the last game, we got St Kilda versus Collingwood, folks. It's going to be an epic game, that one. St Kilda have been in absolute amazing form. They beat Gold Coast quite well in the first game. Second game, they beat Essendon. That's all you could ask of the team. Let's just have a quick look of injuries before we sort of... Ryan Burns, foot is to be seen. That's an interesting one. Liam Henry, hamstring, 6 to 7 weeks. Max King still coming back in that forward line. Liam O'Connell and Jack Silvani should be back from concussion. So Mason Woods is back in the lineup fit. He played over the weekend. Jack McRae and Mateus Philippou, is set for more midfield time. Next to Flanders, next to Nasiah Wanganeen, next to Winghager as well. So like Collingwood are going to have their have to step up in that midfield. Like they're going to have the Dacos brothers doing well, Nick and Josh. Like they're going to have to perform. They're going to have Sidebottom, Pendlebury, all these players to run alongside them and playing well. Like, we'll just quickly talk about Collingwood, who's injured and who's about to mark. So, Bobby Hill unavailable. Jeremy Howe from key defensive lineup, he's out for 1 to 2 weeks. Reef McInnes, another tall out. Darcy Moore, another week with a calf. Joel Cochran will make his debut. He's the defensive lineup that's going to... So, this guy's going to be under a cloud. Dan Houston, Dan McStay... both had interrupted pre-seasons, but are back. Angus Anderson's going to have to bolster up in that midfield to help Collingwood. If all those names that I named with St Kilda, like I see Collingwood struggling, folks. They're going to rely heavily on Dacos. Like for me, and they sort of lost. They lost the last preseason game, and look, let me just look. They've lost. They got Patrick Lipinski back. We watched that on the weekend. I just wanted to see a list of what we got here and who's playing. We can. Charlie at West was a key forward as well. I mean, he's Jack Buller. It's going to be a battle between a couple of them. We know McStay is going to be back. It's Silvani should be back. Then Wilkie's got a caught calf, so hopefully he's fit. If they get them in the lineup and back, that will slow Collingwood's forward line down a fair bit. Tyrone Printable will play his first game. I reckon he was quite good. Look, the ruck's going to be an interesting one. DeConing versus Cameron. Lockie Schultz come back in that lineup. Jamie Elliott will be back. So, like, Collingwood's mid forwards will be a good difference maker in the game. You're going to have Jack Sinclair playing on a couple of them. He's not going to be able to run the ball as much, but he still will, I believe. It's just the type of player he is. And Jordan Ngoe. Jordan Ngoe played quite well the last couple of weeks. I think he had the last game off. Just going to look up the... So, yeah, you got Winghager, Flanders, Bobby Hill on that wing. Liam Stocker probably play a defensive small role. How could I forget? Darcy Wilson, folks. Darcy Wilson's had a great preseason as well. He's going to play more midfield time. Look, those names I'm just rattling off. I just really like the look of St Kilda. I just feel like they're going to be a team. Liam Ryan up forward. They got Max King's the only tall that's not going to be up forward. Jack Higgins, like he kicks a few goals. He's going to be a tough matchup for Collingwood. You know, your Perryman or Houston's going to have to do be very defensively mindset because they got Liam Ryan, they got Jack Higgins. They're going to be playing alongside Rowan Marshall. He's going to bring the ball down to the ground, and it's just going to worry. Like Collingwood have really good halfbacks, and they're going to have to use the ball really well to penetrate, to get up forward, get that nice strong mark. So. And I feel like Toby, the Flying Vike and Alex Taru, sorry. I feel like he's going to be good at centre half back. They got Silvani, they got Wilkie. Like, these guys, are very good defensively minded players. So I just don't see him doing well. Collingwood, I just don't see Collingwood winning this game. I really don't. It's going to be like last year where the Collingwood lost the first one. They'll get a few more back over time. They need the captain, Darcy Moore, back there. They're missing the key defensive pillars. Look, Rowan Marshall, Tom DeConing will go up forward and rest. Jack Higgins is down there. Mason Woods running along the wing. Bobby Hill. Not Bobby Hill. Bradley Hill, sorry. Look, Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira as well. He's going to he'd be best on ground. I can guarantee it. They're going to win this game. Saints fans, get excited. That is round one. I don't know what else I can add to that. They've got Jack McRae in that midfield as well. Just needed to look for a list. We don't have a list of who's playing, who's in. We got the injuries that we've mentioned. But, yeah. Who do you think is going to win, folks? Add in who you think. They got Boxall, Max Hall. Max Hall's had an absolutely great preseason. So, look, Collingwood lost to North Melbourne last week by 1 point. Preseason, I know, but they lost to GWS the week before. They haven't been in form. St Kilda's in form. They've got a better midfield at the moment. They've got a good enough forward line. Defensively, they're not as good. I feel like there's still a key defensive player. Isaac Keeler may play a defensive role at centre-half back. They may play 3 tools. I don't think they will, though, because I think Collingwood's more of a mid-size team. So take it to the bank, folks. St Kilda for that one. So that's it, folks. Opening round. Saturday we'll do a review of a couple games and we'll go from there. Thanks, folks. Take care.